reminders with everyone. Oh, just to let you guys know to remember to be kind to everyone, and keep yourself muted unless we ask you guys a question, then you can unmute. That way we don't have too much noise going on at once. We want to let everyone know that we do record these and then put them up on YouTube. So if you guys end up running out of time or you want to recheck out the stuff, you can head back over to our YouTube channel and check them out. So, because today is super hot and really warm out, I thought we could make our very own ice cream cones today, or popsicles. So, a perfect treat for a super hot day. So, can I have my helper go down to the top down camera? Perfect. So, for today's craft, all you guys are going to need is some paper. Oh, and I see your question too. Don't worry, I'll ask your question in a second. So I see some paper. You'll need some paper, some markers or pencil crayons or anything to draw with, some scissors, and some glue. Now I see my friend Shayla has a hand up. Would you like to ask a question? You can say the question nice and loud so I can hear you.
It's actually for Samantha. Her name is Samantha.
Hi, Samantha, and what is your question?
Does he know that these things that you're showing us, these those colorful things, they actually look like popsicles.
They do look like popsicles. I'm glad you said that, because for today, I'm going to show you two different shapes that we can do. So you guys can choose if you want to make an ice cream that looks like this, where it's a scoop of ice cream on an ice cream cone, or if you want to make yourself a popsicle, like some of the examples I have done here. So you guys can choose which one you want to do. Oh, I see another hand up as well. I see Ellie. What was your question?
I don't have the supplies along.
Well, that's okay. If you don't have everything, that's okay. You can work with what you've got. If you don't have glue, you guys can use tape or a glue stick. If you don't have markers, you guys can also use pencil crayons or crayons. So to get started, we're going to work on the easiest part of our craft first. And that's going to be the cone or the stick of the popsicle. So for my friends who are doing a popsicle, all you're going to need is to take a piece of paper. Now I'm going to be using brown, but if you don't have brown, you can use any color you want, or you can use a white piece of paper and you can color it in brown. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my marker. Now I'm just going to use a dark color here so you guys can see. So I'll use orange so you guys can see. And if you're doing a popsicle, we're going to be doing this shape right here. And let me do a darker one so you guys can see. So we're going to be making a long rectangle shape and then adding a curve at the bottom. So it looks like a popsicle stick. So that's the first shape that you need to do if you are doing a popsicle. So I'm going to start by drawing out my long rectangle shape. And then at the very bottom, you're going to curve it around, just like this. So a super easy shape to do if you have a popsicle. Now, if you want to do an ice cream cone, we're going to have to do a cone shape. So to do an ice cream cone, you're basically going to be doing a long and pointy triangle. So just like what I did if I was doing a popsicle, I'd be taking my brown piece of paper and I'm going to take my marker and I'm going to draw out a very large triangle. Oh, I see lots of questions. Now let's see. I see Brooke up there has a question. What was your question?
I can't see you.
You can't see me? Can you see my hands at the moment?
No.
No? Let's see. Can anyone else see my hands? If you can see my hands, can you give me a thumbs up so I can see? Okay, so we have some friends that can see hands. You might have to move your screen around and see if you can see the host, because sometimes on a program like Zoom, it might be showing all of our friends instead of the host.
Try clicking view and changing it to speaker mode. And Emily, could you use a darker marker so we can see your shape?
Of course. Let me try this blue one right here. So for our popsicle, you would be drawing a shape just like this. So it is a long rectangular shape with a kind of like a U kind of shape at the bottom. And if you are doing an ice cream cone, you will be making a very long pointed triangle. So starting at the top and going all the way down, you want to make sure that your triangle is super long, just like what an ice cream cone would look like. Let's see, we got lots of questions. Okay, I see Ellie, your hand's up as well. What was your question?
Can we also use regular popsicle sticks?
Of course, if you guys have regular popsicle sticks, you can also use those instead of the piece of paper. But for my friends that don't, we can just use our piece of paper. Okay, let's see. I see, I think it was, is it Shannon again? I think that was what your name was. Would you like to ask another question as well? It was Sheila there, and I think your name, I think you said it was Shannon, or I'm trying to remember what your name was.
No, it's Samantha.
Samantha, I'm sorry, Samantha.
Can I tell you something?
Of
Actually,
course.
one of my best friends are on here, and he was Zarda.
Awesome. Fantastic. We've got so many
Not-
friends.
Can you unmute your
No,
mic?
you don't need to talk to her right now.
Well, for all of our friends who are ready for our next step, I want you guys to take your handy dandy scissors and we are going to cut out our stick and cone. Now, for my youngest friends, you might need a little bit of help because our scissors are sharp, but you guys are going to cut out your shapes. So I'm going to start by cutting out my ice cream cone and then my popsicle stick. Now, while we're cutting, does anyone have a favorite ice cream flavor? That's a really tough question. Samantha, your hand went straight up. What's your favorite ice cream flavor?
My favorite is vanilla.
Ooh, vanilla. Oh, I love
Can I tell
vanilla.
you something
Oh,
else?
I see Dia or Daya. I see your hand is up. What is your favorite ice cream
Another
flavor?
question. I got a question.
Oh, yes, Samantha, what's your question?
My other question is that do we have to draw an ice cream cone too?
Only if you would like. So I'm showing two ways that you can do this. I'm showing you how to do
Well,
a
I wanna do
popsicle
a
and how to do an
popsicle.
ice cream. And you guys can choose which one you want to do.
I
Oh,
wanna
I see Brooke, your hand was up as well. What's your favorite ice cream flavor? Do you have a favorite one?
Candy.
Cotton candy. Oh my goodness, you guys have amazing ice cream flavors. Okay, so moving on, what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to move your cone or your ice lolly stick out of the way because we're going to need that in a little bit. The next part that we're going to be working on is the top of our ice popsicle or our ice cream. And what you guys are going to do is I want you to choose what color piece of paper you would like. So if you were doing, for example, a creamsicle ice cream, maybe you want to use orange or yellow paper. If you were doing a mint chocolate chip ice cream, maybe you want to use green or blue and some black paper. So for my ice cream cone, I'm going to do mint chocolate chip because that's my favorite flavor of ice cream. And I'm going to start with this type of ice cream cone first. So for this ice cream, we're going to be making a scoop of ice cream to go on top. So to do that, you're going to take your piece of paper. So I've chosen green. Then you're going to take your marker or your pencil crayon, and we're going to draw out a special shape. So to do an ice cream cone, we're going to start by drawing out a really big mountain, just like that. Then at the bottom, you're going to turn your mountain into a really funny looking cloud shape by adding tiny little bumps all the way around. And you guys can make sure that it fits on your ice cream cone too by holding your ice cream cone up to make sure that your ice cream scoop isn't super big. Now, for my friends that are doing our popsicles, the shape that you guys are going to be making is a very long looking shape. So I'm going to take some red for my popsicle because I think I'm going to do a watermelon flavored popsicle. Then taking your marker, let me make sure this one shows up. You guys are going to be drawing out kind of like a long mountain. So I'm going to take my popsicle and I'm going to draw all the way up and then all the way down again. And then I'm going to, at the very bottom, draw a line straight across. So those are the two shapes that you guys need to draw. One for an ice cream cone and one for a popsicle. Now I still see some hands. So I see my friend, Samantha. I see my friend Samantha. What was your question?
I actually know how to draw in a popsicle cone. Well,
Oh, wow. You guys are already getting this. That's perfect.
and
So
I
these are the two shapes that you need to draw. Whoa, these are looking good, guys.
Going from
I
art class.
love it. Okay, now our next step is super easy. Once you guys have drawn out the shape, we're going to take our scissors again and we're going to cut them out. So this craft is a really easy craft. It's not super hard to do. So I'm going to move my popsicle stick and cone over here, and I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to start cutting out my shape. So I'm cutting out my popsicle shape. And you guys can go nice and slow as well. So you don't have to rush at all.
Emily,
Yep.
do you have the multiple layer popsicle, the rainbow one that you could put on the camera for us to look at?
Of course I can.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
Right there. And I'm actually going to show you guys how to do different layers just like that. Because what we do is we're going to be starting with a base first. Because if I hold this popsicle up here and I turn it over, you guys will see that it's all one color. And that's because in order to have different colors on top, you need a really big base at the bottom for us to glue on our layers. So we're starting out by just making a base. So for my popsicle, I have a red base here, and I'm going to put that there. And for my ice cream cone, I'm having a green base. So that means I have to now cut out my ice cream cone. And I'm going to do it a little fast like this, just so that it's easier for me to cut.
Hey, can we ask a quick question?
Of course.
Go ahead.
Yes, Dad, I already know how to cut.
Okay, why are you telling her this? Jeez.
That's okay.
Okay, you don't need to tell her that. Sorry.
No worries. It's more fun. It's great to see that everyone's having fun and taking the time. And I love to see what your ice cream cones and popsicles look like so far. If for my friends who are a little more ahead, you guys can always show them up to the screen because I can see everyone's stuff and I can see what type of colors you guys are choosing. Oh, I see Dia has your hand up as well. Do you have a question?
What I'm making a popsicle and an ice cream. That's why I'm way behind.
Oh my goodness, we're making both? Oh, that's awesome. Well, you guys are more than welcome to do both as well. So for our next steps, so far, you guys should have a popsicle stick or an ice cream cone. You should have the base of the popsicle and the base of the ice cream. The next part is where we get to add our decorations and you can do the other layers. So to do the other layers, I'm going to start with my popsicle first because this one is a little bit more tricky. And that's how we get this really cool melty looking effect here. Now this one is only with 2 colors. But if you wanted to do the rainbow popsicle, you'll have to do what I'm going to show you now, but a few more times because each color is a different layer. In order to do our melty effect, you're going to take another color. So I'm using green here. Now, if you don't have a different color piece of paper, that's okay. You guys can always use a white piece of paper and then color it in with the color you want. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take your base and you're going to place it down. So I'm placing my red base down onto my green piece of paper. And then using your marker, you're going to draw out the shape. So I'm drawing out my popsicle shape here. So you have the same shape as your base. And then this is where you can start adding the melty effect. So to add a melty looking effect just like this, we're going to take our marker and in the middle of your shape, you're going to start adding, the only way I can describe it is kind of like curly Q, like wiggly worm looking kind of shapes. Now, because your popsicle is melting, you don't have to have a perfect line. So you can kind of have your shape kind of wiggling up and down any way you want, kind of like a silly snake. So just take your marker and just start going all the way up and down, just like this. A wiggly shape, just like that. If you're doing an ice cream cone, then you can also do the same thing. So taking your piece of paper, and I'll do an example on my yellow here so you guys can see as well. You take your marker and you draw out your ice cream shape. So I'm going to draw out my shape here. Oh, my orange
Emily,
marker is
my-
slowly not working.
Emily, Miss Emily.
Yep.
Can my little one just show you his before he leaves us?
Oh, of course.
On camera there.
Oh, I love it. Oh, you did the same kind of like this. You did a creamsicle. Oh, those look amazing. You guys did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
Thank
It's
you.
opposite.
Those look fantastic, guys. Well, thank you for coming out. They look wonderful, and I hope that you guys have a great rest of the day, okay? And make sure to stay safe for me. So for my friends that are still working, because I know that there's a lot to do, you're going to do just like what you did with the popsicle. So you're going to draw out your ice cream shape, and then taking your marker, you're going to draw out the melty ice cream. Or if you want to be super creative, maybe it's chocolate, like chocolate that's been poured on top of your ice cream sundae. Then you guys know exactly what to do, especially for my friends who are a little ahead. All you have to do now is take your, oh, wow. Oh, look at that rainbow one there. Oh my goodness, you guys did a fantastic job. You guys are super fast at this. Wow. I see lots of colors going on there. So for my friends that are still working away, the next thing you have to do is start by cutting out your melted ice cream, and then we're going to glue it on top. So I'm going to take my melted ice cream right here, and I'm going to start cutting it out so I can glue it on top of my red popsicle. So it's following the lines nice and slow. You're going to go all the way around at the top. These look great, guys. Oh man, they almost look good enough to eat, but don't eat them though, because they are made out of paper. But I think it's perfect for a super hot and sunny day, just like today, in order to have a really yummy looking frozen treat.
Do you have an actual question?
Oh, I see Samantha has another question. What was your question, Samantha?
Do we put our other popsicle on top of the other one.
Yes, that's right. So for your decoration part, you're going to be
Like
gluing it on top of the base part, just like that.
Oh, Mom.
Hang on a second. How is she doing it?
So I'm
Well,
cutting out my
Okay, no.
top
You
part
need
here.
to cut it out. You need to cut along this part here. You see what she's doing?
So I'm cutting
What, it
along the
will-
top part of the drippy ice cream. And then once you've cut it out, you're going to then take your drippy ice cream part and you're going to glue it on top of the base, just like this. And then it looks like it's melting ice cream. If you're doing an ice cream cone, then you're going to do the same thing. You're going to cut out the top and put it there. But if you want to have a different shaped ice cream cone, so for example, my ice cream cone, I wanted to make chocolate chip. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take a black piece of paper and I'm going to cut out some chocolate chips that I can glue on top of my ice cream cone.
can I tell you something? I'm actually still not done.
What was that?
I'm still not done.
That's okay. Our friends are still working ahead. You can take nice and slow. The best part is because we're creating ice cream cones, you guys can make your ice cream cone look any way that you want. Do you want your ice cream cone to be Neapolitan, which is the strawberry, vanilla, and chocolate ice cream? Or do you want your ice cream to be bubblegum, where it's pink and blue? Or what if you wanted your ice cream to be like Tiger Trails or something, where it's orange and black and different types of colors? So if you were going to be making something like a chocolate chip ice cream, then you would cut out a bunch of different types of chocolate chips and then glue them down. For my friends who have already cut everything out, what you're going to do is taking some glue, you're going to start by sticking everything together. So for my popsicle, I'm going to start by sticking down the gooey ice cream, the melty ice cream that's on top.
Miss, can I tell you something?
Of course.
Do you actually know that do we have to cut out the lines a little bit on here?
Yes, so if you're doing the melty ice cream on top, you will need to cut out the lines so that you can stick them to the base, which looks like this. If you're doing something like a chocolate chip ice cream or cookie dough ice cream or something like that, then you can decorate your ice cream with tiny little chocolate chips or cookies or anything that you want. So I'm decorating this one with tiny little chocolate chips.
Miss Emily.
Oh, I see another hand up. I see Caitlin over there. What's your question?
She's talking to you.
What's your question, guys?
It's Jack. Sorry.
Oh, Jack, what's your question?
I don't have a question. I want to show you my ice.
You wanted to show, oh, did you make a double ice cream sundae? And is that a cherry on top as well?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, you guys did some amazing stuff. Oh, I love how creative you guys are getting. Ooh, and I really like that idea. If you guys wanted yours to be an ice cream sundae, you can also add a cherry on top, or maybe you want to add some whipped cream on top of your ice cream sundae as well. These are looking really cool, guys. So I'm almost done. I'll add 2 more chocolate chips. And then for our last little bit, I'll show you guys how to add the ice cream cone and popsicle stick. Now, the best part about these is you guys can add as much or as little decoration that you guys want to your ice cream. So if you only want a tiny little bit of decoration like this, then you guys can leave it alone and it can look just like this. But if you wanted to add lots and lots and lots of different layers, then you can cut out more layers with different colors of paper and then stick them down. So I'm just adding 2 more chocolate chips to my very mint chocolatey chip ice cream cone. And then we can finish up by adding the cone and the stick. So a very easy but fun treat to do today. So I'm going to take my piece of paper there and voila, I have one very chocolatey, chippy looking ice cream cone. So for my friends who are ready for the last little bit, oh, and I see my friend Dia has a question as well. What's your question?
I already did the cone and the stick.
You've already done the cone and stick already?
Yeah. And
oh, wow.
What I did is, since I didn't not wait how my ice cream was looking, because there's a stick at the back, you can make the same shape and this at the same size, and then stick it on the back with your popsicle, and then it'll be like a normal popsicle.
Perfect. You guys know what to do. So for my friends who want to see the last step, all you have to do is flip over your popsicle or your ice cream, and then taking your popsicle stick or your ice cream cone, we're going to stick it to the back of our popsicle or ice cream. So to do that, if you were doing a popsicle, then I'm going to add a little bit of glue in the very middle. And then I'm going to take my popsicle stick and I'm going to stick it down so that it's half sticking out. So make sure you do it so that half of it is sticking out. So when you flip it over, it pokes out the bottom, just like this. If my friend is doing an ice cream cone, then taking your ice cream cone, you're going to put a little bit of glue at the bottom of your ice cream scoop. So I'm going to add it right there. Now make sure you don't do too much, and then stick down our ice cream cone. So when you flip it over, you've got your own delicious treat. Now the best part is once it's done gluing, you guys can add as much detail as you want. If you want to add more sprinkles or chocolate chips, you can. If you want to add, for example, on the ice cream cone or on the popsicle stick, maybe you want to add some lines to it to make it look like a waffle cone. And to do a waffle cone, oh, it's not showing up. Let's see if another color will show up. There we go. To do a waffle cone, all you have to do is draw some long lines going one way, just like this. And then to make the waffle pattern, you take the marker and you start by drawing lines going in the opposite direction. So they crisscross over. And then you guys can have a waffle cone.
Excuse me.
Yes, of course.
Miss Emily.
Miss Emily.
Yep. Do you have another question, Samantha? What would you like to know?
Yeah, we know that the pops, like the stick that we cut it out, and I got real popsicles. I decided to use a real popsicle.
A real popsicle stick? Oh, perfect. So if any of my friends have real popsicle sticks at home, you can also do that, just like what Samantha did. But if you don't have any extra popsicles, you can also just use some paper as well. And if you have more time, you can also do a ton of popsicles all at once. And then you have a giant group of sweet, delicious treats. It just sucks that we can't eat them though, because they look super tasty. And I'm getting really hungry. And I kind of like the idea of eating a rainbow colored popsicle or a mint chocolate chip ice cream. I know, these look fantastic. I see a pink and purple one down there. Ooh, I saw our really tall rainbow cone over there with something like 8 or 10 scoops of ice cream. I've seen a green one. I see a red and green one. I see another pink and purple, but this time it's got a yellow cone. Ooh, I see a striped purple and blue one with green. These look great. Oh, I see another mint chocolate chip ice cream up there.
Miss Emily.
Ooh. Oh man, these look fantastic, guys. You guys did such a great job. They look amazing. And the best part is you guys can also hang these up as well. or pretend to have a delicious snack too. Now I see a few more questions. I see my friend Ellie with her hand up. What's your question?
Can we also make it like it has a bite?
Oh, that's a fantastic idea. If you want to give your ice cream cone a bite, you can do that as well. And I can show you how to do that on my popsicle quickly before we have to go. So in order to do a bite, you can take your marker and choose which side you want your popsicle or ice cream cone to have the bite. And then what you have to do is draw, like if you're drawing waves, as if you were drawing the ocean. And you have to draw on one side, and then taking your scissors, this part's a little bit tricky, you can cut out the bite mark, and then it looks like someone took a big bite out of your ice cream or your popsicle. Hopefully you let them take a bite, because I'd be a little disappointed if someone took a big bite out of my popsicle here. But there you go, just like that. And then it looks like someone took a big bite straight out of your popsicle because it was the most delicious thing ever. Okay, let's do 3 more questions and then we'll have to wrap it up. So I see my friend Dia with your hand right up there too. So let's go with Dia first. And what was your question?
I can't see Emily, but
Don't worry, I can hear you. You gotta say it nice and loud.
Upside down. I mean, Ellie was upside down.
Oh, yes, I can see someone's upside down as well. Okay, I see Samantha, your hand's up too. What was your question?
Bye. Do you actually know that I also added some other details? I also added these.
Ooh, very nice. I love all the details. Okay,
And
let's go.
Can I tell you something? Just know that every Tuesday afternoon, I'm gonna come for actually art school.
Ooh, very nice. It's so good to see everyone being super creative, especially when there's so much creativity that we can do on here too.
Yes, I'm actually going to come to what do you call this class again?
Crafternoons?
Wait,
That's what this one right here is called Crafternoons, and we're going to be doing a whole bunch of fun stuff for June as well. So there's lots of other crafts that you guys can do too. If you guys want to feel like crafting, you can always come back
tell you
again.
something. What do you call your craft name?
So this here is
Art
called
and craft.
Crafternoons.
I'm gonna come every Tuesday afternoon.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for coming out today. I hope that you guys had lots and lots of fun. For my friends that are still working on theirs, you guys can keep working on them, and you can actually post them on our website, and we'll put the website in the chat so you guys can see the link, and then you can show them, and then I can check them out, and then that way I can see all of the cool designs you guys did. So we'll have my helpers just going to post it right there. It's just called public.art@oakville.ca. And that's just for anyone who wants to post their really cool looking creations. Well, thank you guys so much for coming out today. I hope that you guys had lots and lots of fun. And I love seeing all of the ice cream cones and popsicle treats that you guys made. I want you guys to stay super safe for me, okay? And have a really good week. Take care, everyone. Goodbye. Thank you for coming. Take care, everyone. Goodbye.